Triumph's motorcycles needs no introduction, and the Street Triple is one of their best. This triple-cylinder machine came to India in November 2013 and has since been one of the best sellers for the company. Anup has owned this triple for about a year now and has been quite prolific in munching miles. He constantly tours on his machine and joins us today to share his ownership experience. Hi Anup, it's great to have you here. How are you?
I'm fine, Swati. Thank you for having me on the show.
So tell me, how has the experience of Triumph Street Triple been so far?
It's been really great so far. Triumph came to India in 2014. So before that, I used to follow Triumph a lot as well. Once I saw Tom Cruise on Speed Triple, actually, that was a Speed Triple in Mission Impossible 2, pulling up some action sequences in that. So ever since then, I've been following the bike. Following the company as well. So I just love that naked kind of look. And after they announced that they're coming to India, I was as excited as ever. And so the showroom opened in 2014, and I guess I've gone to the showroom like 5 or 6 times, and that's when I owned 1 year ago, and I'm loving each and every moment of it.
So how's the bike's handling, braking and overall comfort?
Handling has been superb actually. So before I was about to buy this bike, I had 3 or 4 options. So one was Z800, one was Benelli 600i, one was Ducati Monster. So I took a test ride on Benelli 600. So I was impressed by it, by the power of it, but it was a little bit on the heavier side. Then on the same day itself, I went to the Triumph showroom and I took a test ride of Triumph Street Triple. Once I took a test ride and once I rode it for 10 minutes, that's it. My option was, all the other options were gone out. It was gonna be Street Triple because the best thing about this bike is the handling. It just weighs 188 wet weight, and you don't get this kind of a weight in this class. So 188 kgs of wet weight, and with this power, it's just amazing. It's almost like I ride Duke 390, and it's almost like powered up Duke 390. It's like that. It's much better than Duke 390 in some aspects, but it's been amazing. USP of this bike has been handling. And the braking also, it has Brembo brakes on the rear and Nissin brakes in the front, and the braking also has been great. So the USP of this bike has been handling and braking. So one of the issues, the only issue which I face is that it's the ground clearance is a little bit low on this. So whenever I keep riding in the city actually, so we have a lot of speed breakers. So this is India and we have a lot of speed breakers. So it does scrape a little bit. So that is one of the only problems which I have. Apart from that, in the city, there's no problem at all. Like people might wonder, like, oh, okay, he's got a 675cc bike for Indian road. It's too much. Who's gonna buy that? But for me, I find it more. I find this more comfortable than riding Duke 390 in the city actually, because it's much smoother. It has very good low end torque, and weaving through traffic is much easier. And the heating issues, there's no heating issue as well. In Duke 390, I face a lot of heating issue. It just fries your thighs and everything. But over here, I don't find any of it actually. So in the city, it's a wonderful bike to ride. But wait till you take it to the highway. It's just a rocket. Trust me. It just shoots past everything, and you have to experience it actually.
That's good. Also, our viewers would like to know, how has the bike handled our varied Indian conditions and how's the service experience been so far?
So handling the Indian conditions is absolutely great on this. We have summer over here which is very hot. We have winter which is cold also over here. It's getting to that now in Bangalore. And so although we have pleasant weather over here, it's kind of changing into that extreme weather conditions over here, and I've not faced any problem at all on this bike. In fact, I love riding this bike. In the rain, yes, I feel much safer on this bike than on Duke 390 actually. So the bike has so much road grip, and I just love to ride this bike. And regarding the service, let me come to the service now. And Triumph actually did a good job, but it could have been much better. I feel little bit. They're working on that. So the servicing overall experience has been good but satisfactory, but it could have been better, and actually they're working on that now. once we have given the feedback to them. And regarding the service cost, it came up to some 6,000 to 7,000 in the first service, where they had to change the oil and coolant and everything, like washing and everything, all the basic stuff what you get on a normal bike also. So it came up to some 6 to 7,000, and it's absolutely right. Like anyone can go for that, so it's not too expensive. And regarding the mileage, I would say you get 16 to 17, and that's great for a 675cc bike. So when you're riding in that economy mode where you don't open the throttle much, you get 16 to 17, which is really good. That too in the city, where I take it out in the city where a lot of traffic is there, still you get 16. So once you go to the highway and you go full throttle, I mean you do get 10 to 11. That is expected because you're on higher RPMs and you're shooting past everyone. So that is expected actually. So when you're flat out, you get 10, and when you're riding slowly and in an economy mode, you get 16.
Well, it sounds like you're clearly happy with this
Yes.
bike. However, do you suggest any changes or modifications to make this bike a better package?
I have done a few modifications on this, so let me go about the modifications what I've done. So for the performance side, I have two things done. So that is the exhaust, Aero exhaust, that the company itself sells it, and they only install it, so it doesn't take your warranty off, doesn't devoid your warranty or anything. And the quick shifter, which is again I think the best modification what you can get on this bike, because you can you can upshift without using the clutch and letting down the throttle. It does it all by itself. So that is one of the major modifications of this standout modification actually. And apart from that, for the aesthetics on how the bike looks, so what I've done is I've got a new turn signals, that is an LED turn signal. It is much sharper and it adds to the look. The previous ones are good. I mean, they look good, but not as good as this one. And in the front, I have a visor installed, so that aids in the wind blast, so cutting down the wind blast. So because this bike is very fast, and once you go over 150 kilometers per hour or something, you do get a lot of wind blast. So the visor cuts a little bit, and you do feel comfortable riding it. And I do have frame sliders, so you do have that thing that you feel that okay, the bike, when you park that bike and you might have a fall or something, the bike might fall. So for that, to protect the frame against that, we have frame sliders, so that actually protects when the bike falls or anything. And the fork protectors as well. So we have these fork protectors where, okay, if at all something like an accident happens, it doesn't damage the fork. One more change I want to have on this bike, I don't think it doesn't need any improvement at all, but only change which I wish for is the ground clearance part, because the low ground clearance is, it's kind of a problem on the speed breakers and all, as we live in India and we'll face a lot of speed breakers on the roads. So if the factory can make this bike a little bit taller, then I think this is the best bike ever available in this segment.
Alright, Anup, thanks a lot for sharing your ownership experience.
Thank you, Swati. It's been a pleasure.
Well, the Street Triple sounds like a really great machine and one that can always give you the thrills. Thank you for watching. Please share your comments below. See you in the next video.